Here's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Well, they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. Now a run. This is Alfred Blue. Gave a glimpse of his power that time. And then brought down at the 30. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Here's Foles. He goes full extension, and he's got it. 23 yards on the play.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. Spins by. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now Foles. That's complete right around the 8. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Here's Fournette. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Zach Brown, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And Lambo will put this one through, and the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambo to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. First carry now for Jordan Howard. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
81.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Looking deep downfield. He's got him in. Complete. Wentz finding his favorite receiver, Jeffrey, on a big one. 42 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
52, great.
On 1st down, they run with Howard. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here.
Black, come on. 82. 74.
Wentz now to throw. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he missed it. That was neither far enough. It wasn't even on target. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So a bit of a weird kick there. That wasn't an overly long attempt, but that never had a chance.
You almost wonder if he might have maybe got that one on the laces because it kind of knuckled on him a bit.
13.
And this one winds up in empty possession.
Now a play fake here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big third down play there for the Jags. 45 yards. Foles. And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. That's complete to Chris Conley. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Steps away. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So scores on their first two possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Now, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
And out now come the Eagles. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep
looking for Aguilar. It's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Wentz. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles are now just an extra point away from grabbing the lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a basketball game where one team's coming down and hitting threes, and you're coming back and getting twos, and you steadily lose ground. In this situation, you're talking about touchdowns to field goals. They want to put in the...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. This is the running back, Blue. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. And this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Over! Gun!
A first throw for the backup Kessler. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
On 3rd down, Fournette. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down and needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This is fielded at the goal line. Pretty move. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
In just about every special teams meeting, there's a discussion with the punter about his importance. Why? He can flip the field for your team defensively, move it deep into their own territory, or if you're backed up on offense, and he can hit a big punt and change field position and help his defense. In this case, though, field position got flipped by the return team. You can do it so many different ways on special teams.
Throwing on 1st is Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good pickup there at 22.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 at the 19. On the handoff, this is Howard. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Now Wentz throwing on second down. And now running right through it. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd and 10. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Wentz. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Jacksonville's pass defense holds serve. 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Elliott puts this one through. And they take the lead here by a point, 10-9. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
The Jaguars getting set to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
He sets to fire deep. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Great.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's caught inside the 20. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that'll make this a 6-point game. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Shorty.
A final shot before half for Wentz. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Hey, other side, solid. Hey, Lou.
Wentz going to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with second and very long. Wentz to throw on second down. And his throw here's incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
Miles Jack can just flat out cover. Doesn't matter who's out there, and he can do it really well in man. How about what he just did there in zone, though? Eyes in the right place, saw where the ball was going, reacted appropriately, and knocked it away.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 39. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Here's a give to Fournette, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
Again, it's Fournette. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And the lead now stands at 13. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. And And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can.
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off at the 16. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Third and long, it's Kessler. And he cuts up the football near his own goal line. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Cole now on the return. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a one-score game.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down.
Set! 3-19! 3-19! Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On second down, here's Kessler. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Eagles have recovered.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
A give to Howard. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution. Yeah,
and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. To throw, it's Wentz. Looking for the end zone. And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are now just an extra point away from grabbing the lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that will put them on top here in the third. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
On second down, here's Fournette. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And he finds a man with a crossing route. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Watch it now, Barney. Gone.
Looking to throw on first is Kessler. And it's a sack. Down goes Kessler. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17.
Detroit! Watch it now, Barney!
Out of the gun, Kessler. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, third down.
That was a dangerous throw towards the end zone. Boy, did it hang up there forever. Wanted to run up there and pull it down out of the sky.
Yeah, felt like it really should have been intercepted. Lucky to have that one back.
You've got to be more careful when you're that close to the goal line.
Kessler. Throw left side complete. That's Oliver. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And that goes as a gain of 37 on third down. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They go back to the ground now with Fournette. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on third down. And now it's Kessler. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Another drive bogs down, but for the 4th time, they're able to escape with 3 points.
And this last one gives them the lead, so that's a good thing. And they've needed every one of these field goals, but it has to feel good to them to know that confidence is there. If we do bog down, they'll give us 3 points.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Wentz. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Welcome back now here in London. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. 319. 319.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He's going to air one out. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
The Eagles on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and forever. Shotgun now for Wentz. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Straight 15. Straight 15.
Wentz now on 1st down. And now here's another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Watching that, Barney.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
On play action, it's Kessler. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
And now he spins free. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On 1st down, Wentz. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A very solid gain of 27. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Go. Lynch, 1-3.
A give left side to Howard. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Black. 81. Sit. 80.
On second down, here's Wentz. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Go. 20. Great. Here, sit. Win.
Wentz now to throw. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that. Yeah, there was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with it.
And it's a sack. Down goes Kessler.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Detroit. Now let's go.
Off the play fake. Kessler. He's going to fire one deep over. And got his man. Complete. They give him a gain of 37.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Hot. Watching that, Barney. Hot.
A handoff to Fournette. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Gone. Over.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he stopped immediately there. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run.
Here we go now.
Oh, Kessler looks to throw it. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Kessler to throw. Going for the deep ball. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
Feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it.
And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you got to feel good about your chances.
Point after by Lambo, up and good. And it might seal the deal as that makes it a two-score game here with not a lot of time remaining. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
Trey 15. Trey 15.
Wentz to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They begin with a run by Fournette. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were.